In this video, I want to show my experimentation with a couple of melodies alongside one another, in which, on turn, one melody is the bass, and the other ones are adapting to the bass. Now, what does that mean for the harmony? It means that I try to change as less as possible on the non-leading melodies, except when it is too distant. Now, in my ear, it becomes too distant if the interval is a second. So, for instance, an A and a B or an A and a G are too dissonant in a harmonic sense. The rest goes. So let's see how far that works in this system. In the case of a dissonant note, I replace the dissonant note by the leading note. So for instance, if the flute gives an A and the oboe gives a B, then the oboe will become an A. If the bassoon gives a G, then the bassoon becomes an A. If the cello is an A, of course it stays an A. So in that manner I developed this music. First, every 4 bars there's a new bass. The first bar, the flute is the bass, and the rest is harmonized in the manner I tried to explain before. Now the oboe is the lead, and the others are adapted to the oboe. The bassoon melody becomes the lead, and the cello is the lead now. And the flute again is the leading melody. Now in this second part, the flute is the bass. The cello is adapting according to the rules of harmony, and the other two are unisono with the bass, with the flute in this case. In this third part, the cello is the bass, the flute is adapting, and the rest stays unisono with the bass, in this case the cello. In part 4, the cello is the bass, but now the bassoon is the secondary melody. The rest becomes and stays unisono. In part 5, the bassoon takes over the position of the bass, and the cello is the adapting one. The rest is unisono with the bass. Now, the last part is the bassoon is completely the bass. So the coupe is complete. Now that shows that if only one is a complete bass, so has complete dictatorship, the diversity becomes zero. Well, if there is a complete flat democracy, like in part 1, the diversity becomes very high, but maybe the musicality is not that good. So I let you hear it again. I hope it sounds interesting to see how you can mix up a lot of melodies based on a very simple rule of harmony.